The power of music. When summer comes, we hear the hums Vishma Lochan Sharma. You catch his strain on hill and plain from Delhi down to Burma. He sings as though he has staked his life. He sings as though he is hell bent. The people dazed, retire amazed, although they know it's well meant. They are trampled in the panic rout or languish pale and sickly, and plead, my friend, we are near our end. Oh, stop your singing quickly. The bullock carts are overturned and horses line the roadside. But Vishmalochan, unconcerned, goes booming out his broadside. The wretched brutes resent the blare, the hour they hear it sounded. They whine and stare with feet in air or wonder quite confounded. The fishes dive below the lake in frantic search for silence. The trees collapse and shake, you hear the crash a mile hence. And in the sky, the feathered fly turn turtle while they are winging. Again we cry, we are going to die. Oh, won't you stop your singing? But Vishma so showed beyond our reach. However, we plead and grumble. The welkin weeps to hear his screech, and mighty mansions tumble. The welkin weeps to hear his screech, and mighty mansions tumble. But now there comes a billy goat, a most sagacious fellow. He downs his horns and charges straight with below answering bellow. The strains of song are tossed and whirled by blast of brutal silence of violence, and Vishmalochan grants the world the golden gift of silence. So let us explain the first question, first line. When summer comes, we hear the hums, Vishmalochan Sharma. When summer comes, the time of the year being set, it is a hot season in India. This we hear the hums mane, this refers to the sound of singing, humming, suggesting Sharma is active in summer. The humming of something. Vishmalochan Sharma, name of the character. Vishmalochan literally means wide-eyed in Hindi or Sanskrit. Wide-eyed means he has got big eyes. You catch his train on hill or plain from Delhi to Burma. You catch his train, you notice or encounter him traveling. You catch his train, Strain. Mane, you notice, mane, you can listen to his voice in hills also, in plains also, and his voice can be heard from across the Indian subcontinent to Burma, showing his capacity to his voice has the capacity to reach so far. Vast journey across the Indian subcontinent to Burma, showing his travel how sharply his voice travels. He sings as though he has staked his life. He sings as though he is hell bent. He sings as though he has staked his life. Money. He sings with extreme effort and seriousness, as if life depends on it. He is determined, hell bent, money determined, and unstoppable in singing, no matter. He doesn't care about the consequences. The people dazed, retired, amazed, although they know it's well meant. People dazed, many people are confused and overwhelmed. They retreat or withdraw. Tired, retired, money retreat. People dazed, money people are confused and overwhelmed. Retired, tired, retire এটা হবে retired নয় retired মানে they retreat or withdraw Amazed mane shocked, perhaps horrified or astonished. Although it is well meant, although they know it's well meant, they realize he has good intentions, but the singing still disturbs them. He realized that he has good intentions, but the singing still disturbs them. They are trampled in the panic rout or languish pale and sickly. Chaos causes people to stampede, stepping on each other. Chaos causes people to stampede, stepping on each other. Languish pale and sickly means others grow weak, ill, or faint from the noise. Plead and plead, my friend. We are near our end. Oh, stop you singing quickly. So people beg him. They plead to him. They feel as though they might die. Oh, stop you singing quickly. Requests to him to stop immediately. The bullock carts are overturned and horses line the roadside. Bullock carts are overturned means even the vehicles pulled by oxen are uh, upended due to chaos. Upended মানে জানি না UPED upended আচ্ছা even vehicles pulled by oxen ended up ended এটা দেখতে হবে upended মানে due to chaos. Horses line the roadside. Horses have stopped or collapsed along the side of the road. But Vishmalochan, unconcerned, goes booming out his broadside. মানে unconcerned, he ignores the damage being made by his he ignores the damage being made by his voice, by his singing. Goes booming out his broadside mane like a cannon firing a broadside. In naval battles his voice blasts powerfully like a cannon firing a broadside. In naval battle his voice blasts powerfully like a cannon firing a broadside. In naval battles his voice blasts powerfully. Next, the wretched brutes resent the blare. The hour they hear it sounded. Wretched brutes mane refers to animals. Resent the blare mane they hate the loud noise. The hour they hear it sounded mane from the moment the sound starts. Refers to animals. Wretched brutes mane refers to animals. Reason the blare man they hate the loud noise. From the moment the sound starts, they whine and stare with feet in air or wander quite confounded. Mane whine and stare mane show distress and confusion. With feet in air mane some animals might collapse or roll over. Wander quite confounded mane they are completely puzzled and unsettled. Next, the fishes dived below the lake in frantic search for silence. Fishes dived below, money even the fishes, the underwater creatures try to hide from the noise. They want to get money, run away from the noise, and for that they are diving deep into the water to get rid of the noise, seeking peace and silence. The very trees collapsed and shake. You hear the crash. Am I hence? Trees collapsed and shake mane nature itself reacts violently. Exaggerated imagery. Nature itself reacts violently. Exaggerated imagery. You hear the crash. Sound of trees falling. You hear the crash mane sound of trees falling. Am I hence? Rhetorical flourish. Isn't this proof? মানে এটা কি যথেষ্ট proof নয়? Nature itself reacts violently. Trees collapsed and shake. Mane nature is reacting violently. Sound of trees falling. They hear the crash. Mane sound of trees falling. When in the sky the feathered fly turn turtle while they are winging. Feathered fly মানে birds, turn turtle মানে birds flip upside down while they are swinging মানে in flight they lose control while they are winging মানে যখন ওরা উড়ছে ওরা নিজের উপর কন্ট্রোল হারিয়ে ফেলছে। দ্য বার্ডস আর ফ্লিপিং আপসাইড ডাউন, দে আর লুজিং কন্ট্রোল ওভার themselves. Again we cry, you are going to die. Oh, won't you stop your singing? So again the people repeat their pleas. Warn, you are going to die মানে warning to him or exaggerating the damage to life. Won't you stop your singing? Begging once more to stop him singing, মানে asking, begging to him to stop singing. But Bhishma's sword beyond our reach, however we plead and grumble. মানে Bhishma's sword মানে soar high বলে না, his voice soared so high beyond their reach that they can't stop him. We plead and grumble মানে complain helplessly. The Welkin weeps. Welkin, Welkin, weeps to hear his screech and mighty mansions tumble. Welkin weeps মানে sky weeps. It seems as if the sky has been personified. It seems as if the sky is weeping. Buildings collapse from the force of his voice. Mighty mansions tumble, money, buildings collapse from the force of his voice. But now there comes a billy goat, a most sagacious fellow. Sagacious fellow, money, very wise. Here the male goat has been called very wise. Why? Because he is the only one who could change the ইয়ে কি বলে ওটাকে, হি ইজ দ্য অনলি ওয়ান who could stop Bhishmalochan from singing. He downs his horns and charges straight with bellow answering bellow. Downs his horns মানে lowers head to attack. Lowers his head to attack. Charges straight মানে rushes at Bhishmalochan. With bellow answering bellow মানে the goat's bleat counters Sharma's singing. The goat's bleat counters Vishmalochan Sharma's singing. The strings of songs are tossed and wheeled by blast of brutal voice. মানে strings of song মানে his vocal tone. Tossed and whirled মানে disrupted, scattered. Whirled by the blast of brutal violence মানে his vocal tones, strings of song মানে his vocal tones, disrupted, tossed and whirled মানে disrupted and scattered, blast of brutal violence মানে goats headbutt, তো দেখতে হবে, মাথার শিং বোধহয় বোঝাতে চেয়েছে, goats headbutt. And Vishmalochan grants the world the golden gift of silence. মানে finally he stops singing and peace comes back. Peace gets restored. Now poetic devices. Hyperbole মানে exaggeration. The very trees collapsed, mighty mansions stumble. এটা কি সত্যি হতে পারে? হতে তো পারে না, এটা গানের জন্য, সেই জন্য impossible events to show the disastrous effect of his singing. So this is hyperbole. Hyperbole is exaggeration. Next, personification. Welkin weeps. Welkin মানে sky weeps. Personification. Trees collapse and shake. মানে trees reacting like living beings. This is also personification. Then example of simile or metaphor. Voice compared to a broadside. Broadside মানে naval gunfire. ভয়েসটার সাথে broadside মানে naval gunfire কে তুলনা করেছে. Power to just to show the power and destructiveness. Vishma's his Vishma না এটা নয়. Next, imagery কি? Vivid descriptions appeal to sight. কিভাবে? Bullock carts overturned. Blair, birds turn turtle. এগুলো সব হচ্ছে imagery. Next, alliteration. Bellow answering bellow. Plead and grumble. Strings of song. Plead and grumble ঠিক না? Bellow answering bellow. Strings of song. Rhythmic sounds. এবার irony কেন? Alliteration তো হয়ে গেল. Strings of songs. Bellow answering bellow. এগুলো. Next, irony. Although he means well, his singing causes chaos and destruction. মানে although he means everything well, yet his voice causes destruction. Next, rhythmic couplets. কোনটা rhythmic couplet? Most lines rhyme in pairs, giving the piece a humorous sing-song rhythm. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. Words like blare, bellow imitate the sounds. Example of blare, bellow. Example of onomatopoeia. Next questions. Who is the protagonist of the poem? The protagonist is Vishmalochan Sharma, a singer known for his powerful voice and destructive style. Distinctive style. Powerful voice and distinctive style. What quality of his is despised by everyone? His overwhelming, forceful, and intense singing is despised because it is too strong and disrupts normal life. His overwhelming, forceful, and intense singing is despised because it is too strong and disrupts normal life. How famous is he for the display of his qualities? Very famous. With his singing known from Delhi to Burma, showing his renowned, wide, renown, renown for his overpowering talent. Showing his renown দরকার নেই, showing his overpowering talent. He is very famous with singing known from Delhi to Burma, showing his overpowering talent. What shows that he is hell-bent in showing his talent? The line he sings as though he is hell-bent shows his single-minded determination to perform at full intensity regardless of consequences. He sings as though he is hell-bent shows his single-minded determination to perform at full intensity regardless of consequences. What is the reaction of the people towards him and his singing talent? People are dazed, amazed, and retired by his singing. They acknowledge it is well meant, hell bent, but cannot fully appreciate or endure its force. It is hell bent. They acknowledge it is hell-bent but cannot fully appreciate or endure its force. Next question. What does the first stanza highlight about the protagonist personally? It highlights its dedication, intensity, and unstoppable nature as a performer. He is passionate and oblivious to the inconveniences he is causing to others. He is oblivious to the inconvenience he is causing others. He is passionate and oblivious to the inconvenience he causes others. Next, they trampled in the panic rout, or languish, pale and sickly, and plead, my friend, we are near our end. Oh, stop you singing quickly. The bullock carts are overturned and horses line the roadside. But Bhishmalochan, unconcerned, goes booming out his roadside. Describe the panic caused by Bhishma's singing. His singing is so loud that and overwhelming that people panic, trample each other, and some become pale and sickly from fear or shock. The noise also causes chaos among animals and vehicles. Next question. What request do the people make to him and why? They plead him to stop singing, saying we are near our end because his singing is creating panic, overturning bullock carts and frightening the horses. Is their request granted? Why? No, their request is not granted. Vishmalochan is unconcerned about the chaos and continue oblivious and continues singing, showing his single minded commitment to his art. Showing his single minded commitment to his art. How does Vishma's singing affect the bullock carts and horses? His singing overwhelms the animals, causing bullock carts to overturn and horses to line the roadside in alarm. It demonstrates his physical impact of his powerful voice. Next question. Explain Explain the phrase booming out by his roadside. Booming out by his roadside mane describes how Vishmalochan's singing continues loudly and forcefully, spreading across the surroundings without regard to the chaos it causes. It emphasizes the volume, power, and unstoppable nature of his performance. Next, protagonist Vishmalochan Sharma despised quality money overpowering disruptive singing. Fame money renowned from Delhi to Burma for his intense performance. Hellbent nature money single-minded unstoppable dedication to singing. People's reaction were dazed, amazed, overwhelmed. They plead him to stop. Personality highlighted money intense, passionate, obvious to inconvenience caused panics caused money, trampling pale and sickly people, overturned carts, panicked animals. People's request money stop singing to prevent chaos. Request granted? No, Vishma is unconcerned. Effect on animals money chaos among bullock carts and horses. Phrase money booming out by his roadside emphasizes phrase booming out by roadside emphasizes loud, powerful, unstoppable singing reaching all surroundings. Next question. Wretched brutes resent the Blair. Who is referred to as wretched brutes? The animals and possibly trees are referred to as wretched brutes. They resent Vishmalochan's loud, tortuous singing because it disturbs and frightens them. Describe the funny actions of the animals to protest against his singing. Animals whine and stare with feet in the air. Fishes dive frantically to the bottom of the lake trying to escape the noise. These actions are humorous exaggerations showing how overwhelmed they are. How do the fish dive to the bottom of the lake? The fish dive to escape the unbearable noise, seeking silence and safety. Which sound can be heard up to a mile? The crash caused by the collapsing and shaking trees can be heard a mile away. What is the cause of this sound? The extremely loud and powerful singing of Vishmalochan Sharma shakes the trees, causing them to crash. Next, explanation of the words. Resent the blare. Blare here refers to a loud or grating sound. The animals dislike or feel annoyed by the sound. Confounded, mani ki bewildered, completely puzzled. The animals are confused and amazed by the unexpected noise. Frantic search mane a desperate, hurried attempt to find something. The fishes desperately search for quiet and safety at the bottom of the lake. Vishmalochan Sharma's singing disturbs the animals and environment. Animals respond with funny, exaggerated reactions, whinnying, staring, diving. Even trees collapse, creating clashes heard far away. The words resent, confounded, and frantic search emphasizes the animal's distress and frantic efforts to escape. The feathered fly turned turtle while they are winging. Mane? This line describes the reaction of birds to Vishmalochan's singing. The feathered fly birds turning turtle suggests that the birds are so disturbed or terrified by his screeching that they curl up or retreat, unable to fly normally. It is a metaphor for fear and disorientation caused by his sound. They turn upside down. A repeated plea to Vishmalochan. The people repeatedly cry, "Stop your singing," or plead with him, fearing death and destruction caused by his tortuous voice. The poem shows their helplessness and panic in the face of his overwhelming power. Why does Vishmalochan Sarma reject their plea? Vishmalochan is indifferent to the suffering he causes. He is soaring beyond our reach implies that he is detached, powerful, and perhaps enjoys the chaos. He ignores human concerns and continues his destructive song. Next question: how is the weather affected by Vishmalochan Sarma's singing? His singing causes chaos in nature. Earlier, he mentions trees collapse and shake, suggesting strong winds or tremors. The world itself reacts violently to his voice, showing the extent of his disruptive power. What are mansions? Mansions refer to huge buildings or structures symbolizing stability, grandeur, and civilization. They represent human achievement and comfort. What causes the collapse of these huge mansions? The mansions collapse because of Vishmalochan's sick screech. The violent disturbance it causes, likely metaphor. This is a metaphor for the destructive, uncontrollable force of his singing, shaking the physical and social world. Next question: justification of Vishma's singing shook the world around him. The poem describes birds and animals in terror, trees shaking, fish diving to the bottom of the lakes, and mansions tumbling. All these images highlight the immense physical and metaphorical impact of his singing on the environment, justifying that his voice literally and figuratively shook the world. Next question: a billy goat, a most sagacious fellow, comes. This arrival is welcome because the goat is capable of confronting Vishmalochan, bringing hope after chaos. He is seen as a hero who can restore order. Adjectives for the goat and why. Sagacious emphasizes the goat's wisdom and intelligence. The poem portrays him as a clever and strong, who's able to deal with the overwhelming problem that Vishmalochan has. Next question: how the billy goat responds to Vishmalochan singing. The goat downs his horns and charges straight with bellow. Bellow answering bellow. This shows that he confronts the noise head on, fighting back with equal force, not running away. Next question: what happens to Vishmalochan's songs? The songs are tossed and whirled by blast of brutal violence, meaning the goat disrupts and counters the destructive force of the songs, neutralizing them. The golden gift the world receives. Next question: the golden gift the world receives. It a key. The golden gift of silence is peace and relief. The world gets it because the goat successfully confronts Bismalochan and ends his destructive singing, allowing calm and order to return. In short, Vishmalochan's singing represents chaotic power affecting all lives, while the billy goat symbolizes wisdom, courage, intervention, ultimately restoring peace.